What is going on, y'all? Robert Sikes, KetoSavage.com, and today we have another podcast/video. So if you want to watch this on YouTube, you can. If you want to listen to this on audio, you can. You got all the options. Today, I have special guest, repeat guest, Crystal, my wife, Sikes. And this is, how many times have you been on here, babe?
I honestly have no idea.
It's been a while.
I think this is my third time. There's people who have been on here more than me.
Danny, I think, got the record.
Yeah.
I actually recorded with him again this week, so his episode's going live on Monday, and I'm sure he's excited about that because he's always about trying to get the most episodes. So, for any of you that do not know, Crystal Sikes is my wife. She is the Lady Savage, and we're going to talk about the Lady Savage, are we not?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
We're sipping on some Americanos. Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's talk about our coffee addiction for a minute. We'll start off the podcast with that.
Oh my gosh. Our coffee addiction is so bad.
It's not good.
Not at all.
But we've gotten better.
We have gotten better.
Actually, we haven't really yet, but
We're
we're
about
working
to.
on it. We're about to get better. We've had several people recommend the Nespresso machine. So we just pulled the trigger on a Nespresso machine. I ordered a bunch of pods for that. Those should be coming in this week. And we're going to replace our afternoon coffee drive that costs $14 after a tip with an espresso that costs 70 cents.
By the way, Americanos really aren't that expensive, but we do like to be nice. And we get the biggest ones we possibly
This
can.
is a 24-ounce.
24-ounce
They call
Americano.
this the hot tub.
Yep. And we
drink it, and it's our second hot tub today.
Yeah.
So yeah, be mindful of your caffeine addiction and your coffee spending.
Yes.
Don't do what we do.
Yeah.
All right, so this podcast, I kind of want to talk about a lot of different things. We talk daily because we're married. And there's a lot of things that we talk about that I would like to peel the curtain back for y'all to hear, see, and get excited about with us because we're very excited about it. I don't know how much we can share, but we're going to share a lot. So, Crystal, we went to record this podcast on her birthday, which was June 2nd, which was yesterday. Today's Wednesday. But we're recording it now, and it's going to go live on Friday. So happy birthday, Crystal.
Thank you.
Do you feel older?
So much older.
You're 28.
28.
You're probably never going to let me forget that I'm a few months older than you.
Nope. I just, I turned 28 yesterday, and I was like, you're going to be 29 in a couple months.
I'm like, yeah, you're just right behind me, baby.
You're going to be 30 next year.
So let's talk about what you did with your birthday. What was your intention? What was your goal? What'd you do?
Okay, so a little bit of backstory is first of all, I wanted to launch my business, Lady Savage, on my birthday. And a little backstory to that is when I was younger, my parents used to ask me what I wanted for my birthday. And my parents raised us very giving and very to be selfless. And so for my birthdays, I would always just say give presents to kids that don't have, they don't get presents on their birthday or, whatever. So I kind of was just thinking about those moments and brought that back into this year and thought, I really want to give. And the whole reasoning behind my business is to give and provide a wonderful place for women to go. So for my birthday, I just wanted to give back again.
Yes. And your birthday is always on June 2nd.
Always, every year.
Every year. What else was on June 2nd? This year.
It was a day to represent and stand up for our Black friends and family and community, and it was Blackout Tuesday on social media, and I made a post about my business launching because for months I had decided to go ahead and launch my business on my birthday. It just so happened to be on the same day.
Would you do that again?
No. I totally wish I would have launched on a different day. Honestly, I was supposed to have launched on June 2nd. And I was getting super overwhelmed and super overworked. And Kara had been working a lot with me and getting all the videos done and all that. And we didn't think we were going to get it done on time. So I was going to postpone it. And then Kara worked over the weekend. She worked long hours. I worked long hours. And we were like, we're going to get this done by June 2nd. We're going to do this. And so we were so excited about it. And now I wish I would have just postponed it a little bit.
I'm glad you didn't postpone it, and you have nothing to hold your head down about. I'm very proud of you. You can't change when your birthday is. You made it a point to launch on your birthday. The fact that it randomly happened to fall on the same day that everybody planned this Blackout Tuesday spur of the moment is not your fault, and it's not a bad thing. I mean, so for everybody listening, I've seen Crystal work really, really hard on this business, this brand, this endeavor. She's always been like my support. She's helped me with Keto Brick. She's helped me with Keto Savage. She's helped me with my competition prep. She's helped me with everything, and it oftentimes gets overlooked because a lot of it's behind the scenes work, and it's not the forefront of things. It's not the head of the business. So a lot of people don't see the work that she puts in, but she's always been there. And then she decided she's going to make her own thing, the Lady Savage. She just took it and ran with it. She hadn't really asked me for much help at all, and I've been just incredibly proud to see her take something and just pour herself into it because it's her own thing, it's her own passion. And then she launches on her birthday with all this excitement, and it's like she just met with hate by so many people. And that was hard for me to say. Like, it was a launch time is a very exciting time because it's like, not that you expect a whole bunch of sales or anything like that. It's just that this is the fruition of your hard labor and dedication and discipline for weeks and weeks and months and months. It's like a contest prep. It's like the show day, And to see her in tears because she was getting so much backlash for launching something that she had been met with obstacles to launch, and she pushed through and did it anyways. Like, that was very disheartening for me to see. Like, I am incredibly proud of you, and I am glad that you launched on the day that you said you were going to do, because you said that's what you were going to do, and you did it. It doesn't mean that we're not in support of, equality. Like, we obviously want equality.
Yeah. That's the thing is, like, yesterday I was so upset. I cried a lot yesterday, and it was the day I wanted to celebrate. Like, I don't ever really celebrate my birthday, and that's part of like the reason I wanted to give. And I really wanted to celebrate this launch because I've never worked so hard in providing a platform for someone else. And it wasn't about me, and it's not about the sales, or it's not about that kind of stuff. So I was just so excited to be able to provide something new and something fresh and something exciting. And it was weird to be met with a lot of hate and just people upset with me that I chose to follow through with what I said I was going to do. But I don't know. It was really weird. I am glad that I did launch it. I didn't appreciate the backlash that I did get from it, but it's good.
It's just hard because when you own a business and when you have a platform or you're seen somewhat in a public light, anytime you put yourself out there, you're going to be seen, you're going to be judged, and people are going to make assumptions about you. And we really don't hold anything back. Like, we put our entire lives online, and I mean, I feel like people know who we are, but nobody can really know who we are based off of a YouTube video or a podcast episode or an Instagram post. So I want to take this opportunity and just tell people, hopefully you believe us, that we have nothing to hide. Yeah. We are 100% on Team Human. We are disgusted with the crazy chaos that's going on in the world right now. Mm-hmm. And Crystal and I both feel that we can the only thing that we can do is make the most of the variables that we have control over. And I made a post about this kind of the other day. It's like, we are very stoic in the thinking of, look, take what you're given, make the most of it, maximize, your effect on the things that you can control. And I feel that's what we're going to do. We're just going to keep trying to add positivity, add value. And I'm totally in support of people protesting. I don't want to make this too political by any means. That could be dangerous waters to get into here. But I want everybody to know that Crystal and I, from the bottom of our hearts and the depths of our souls, care about every human. Mm-hmm. We want every human to be treated fairly. We want every human to have an equal playing field, and then we want them to take that opportunity to put forth the work and work towards something they're passionate about. That's what we've done. Like, I feel we are very blessed we are very grateful for the business that we've built, the opportunity we've been afforded because of the work we've put in. And I want everybody to have that same level playing field. Your outcome is a result of the work you put in, period.
Mm-hmm. And just to add one more thing to it, and then we can move on so we don't get too political. But we will never understand what it's like to have a different skin tone, because we just simply don't have that. And we have no perspective on it because we don't. We will never pretend to either. And we will always stand behind our fellow human. We are not against anyone. We are for everyone. So we will never pretend that we understand or that we know, but we will always have everyone's back because we're all human.
Yeah.
We're all just trying to do and live and be the best we can be every single day.
Yeah. And for anybody interested or curious, it is weird launching 2 things during the week of all this crisis.
The weirdest.
It is very strange. So I hope it didn't have a detrimental effect on Lady Savage's launch in the long. I don't think it will.
I honestly, I don't even care about that. Like, I'm glad that I launched it. I'm glad that people are aware that it's there, but it's going to be there forever now. And that was the whole point of it, is like, look, I did this thing, come join me. I will be here forever. Mm-hmm. That's what I really wanted to get across. And so I'm going to be there forever. So if, launch day was great. It was amazing. We have an amazing group of women already on there, and I'm really excited about it. I'm excited to grow that more and more every day, every week, and just get this great sisterhood. But yeah, I'm not worried about it causing any holdback to my launch.
So let's dive into the nuts and bolts. I want to paint a picture for people to see and understand what is Lady Savage exactly. What's your goal with it? What's your motivation behind it? Just kind of pull the curtain back on that a little.
Okay. Let me know if I start rambling. I'm really good at it. Okay, so Lady Savage. The reason I started this is because I've been doing one-on-one coaching for many years now, and I, over the years, have realized that everyone has so much more going on in their life than just nutrition, just fitness. There is so much more to each individual person that I feel like it's really important to dig into those things. So there's 4 key core focus points of Lady Savage, and it's all about relationships, self-care and self-love, nutrition, and fitness. And within those, you have to go into spirituality and meditation and all of that kind of stuff. It's all in there. Now, I don't try and push anything on anyone. I'm not even pushing keto. The only information I will provide is low carb or keto options, but you don't have to be anything. You don't have to be a bodybuilder. You don't have to, be a wife or a mom or anything. You don't have to be anything to be a part of this community of women. And that's really what I wanted to build, is that there's so many aspects of life, and there's so many aspects of being a woman, that it's just, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's hard to find a group where you can just feel confident and comfortable and feel empowered without being afraid of what you're posting being judged, because we judge each other so much. And this is a judgment-free zone. I know that's like Planet Fitness's thing.
Yeah, but you got to get a different slogan.
Yeah. I don't want judgment. I will immediately remove people who are negative or judgmental or whatever, because I refuse to have that. This is a place of empowerment and inspiring each other, and I don't know, just providing a safe place for you to feel like you can be you, and you can put out your strengths and your weaknesses, and you can work on both. And so there's several different aspects of it. I have my one-on-one mentorship, which is, a month at a time. And then I have my one-on-one connection calls, where it's an hour-long conversation with a follow-up and all of that. If you're just looking for more information, there's the Lady Savage membership, which is a part of the sisterhood, and that has weekly blogs. There's going to be workout tutorials, weekly live with me. I'd love to eventually have other women that I admire on there, so that I can show, other people that you can follow and are inspirational. And then we have the forums, which has been really exciting already, where you can post pictures or your progress or how your day's going. Someone just got on there this morning and was like, hey ladies, like, how's it going? Good morning. And it's just cute and it's fun. And it's like you're making this whole new friendship, sisterhood, and just knowing that like those people are also going through life, like going through hard things, and we're all just here to support each other and love each other. And that is like the biggest thing, because there's so much negativity in this world. There's so much comparison games and just weird things between women that I'm done with it. Like, this is my safe place, and I want it to be anybody else's safe place.
It is weird. Like, it's like I can see it, but it's different for men. Like, men compare themselves too, but it's in a very different way than women.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
There's like stuff like mom shaming. Like, moms shame moms for doing things a different way. It's the weirdest. It's like, you're a mom, like, you are doing a good job at taking care of your child, as long as they're good, they're healthy, you know. But people will judge you for anything, and it's really crazy to me.
I definitely am not. I'm on a very anti-judging kick, especially right now, because I've been listening to so much stoic thinking. It's like, you have no right to judge anybody else for where they're at in life. Your job is to embrace them for who they are and make the most of what you do because of that in their surrounding. And I don't know, it's just like negative energy. Like, this, there's just so much negative energy right now in the world. And there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, like the COVID virus, all these riots, all this political stuff. It's just a weird time that we're living in. But it's cool for me to see you actively creating an outlet for positive energy to counteract all the negative energy. So you get your work cut out for you, baby.
Yeah. It is interesting because going into 2020, I got this new like confidence and love for myself and love for life, and it hasn't dulled through all the craziness, through COVID, through, you know, all the stuff that's going on now. Even yesterday was not a fun day, but I have this new mindset of things, and just knowing I have control over how I want my days to go. I have control over how I want my attitude to be. And that's just, it makes a different level of life when you can just take a step back and walk through it and have this new mindset and this new happiness and this new joy because you choose to, you know?
Yeah. I think having a great husband makes that easier.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
He wasn't going through a prep this year or anything.
Yeah, that was probably a little trying on you for sure.
It was, because I was like trying to build my own stuff, but like keep everything else afloat, and plus like make sure that you were all good and everything. Yeah. It was a little bit.
So you've seen me through all but my first prep. Yep. You've known me through all my first prep, but you didn't really interact with me much my second prep, I don't think. We had known of each other, but we weren't like...
I didn't know your first prep because I was in Arkansas.
Right, but my second prep was...
Yeah, we were dating, but...
We were in that weird phase.
Yeah, and then I left for the month right before your competition.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
I went and spent time with family, and then I met you in Seattle and watched your show.
That's right. Right. I remember now. So I think this prep has been the easiest to deal with me in, for sure.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
What do you think is different? Like, why?
I think that we've gone through a lot in the last several years that I think you've just grown as a person, as an adult, as, you know, taking care of your own feelings and your own emotions and understanding why you're feeling those rather than just like lashing out. And not that you ever like really lashed out at me, but you know, you just get more control over yourself, and you have way more of a stoic mentality and attitude now than you ever did before. So I think you've just grown a lot, and then we've grown as a couple. So I have also, I feel, gotten more patience for you. We've worked through a lot of the issues that we had before. We've worked through those, so now we don't have to deal with those anymore. Mm-hmm. I think it's just a lot of growth. I think as time goes on in life, maybe things don't get easier, but you understand how to take care of those a little better.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I was looking back at our history, our timeline, and we hit our 1 year anniversary, 2 months ago?
Oh, wedding?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
So not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like we were not really even in the honeymoon phase in our first year of marriage.
No.
I feel like we got that out of the way before we ever even got married.
Yeah.
Which was, I don't know, it's weird. Like, I don't necessarily recommend that, but I don't not recommend it either. I feel like it worked really well for us. But we have a different situation than most couples, I would imagine. I mean, building a business together and going through just being super broke, building multiple businesses, and traveling all that we had, that was pretty trying. And I feel like we got all of the kinks that come with those obstacles in a marriage and relationship out of the way before we ever got married. So when we did get married, we kind of knew how to be with one another.
Mm-hmm. We joined our lives a lot earlier than I think a lot of people do. People keep everything separate until they get married. And we knew we wanted to get married. It was just we hadn't done it yet. So we were already starting to join things together before we ever got married. And we were engaged for a year, so we knew everything leading up to it. We were just slowly building that. So I think it was just, it was a lot easier transition.
When did you know that we were actually going to get married before we had it? Because when we moved to Arkansas together, we didn't know.
No, we didn't know.
That it was going to be, it was like
I was really hoping because I moved away from my family.
I was like, that seemed like a good idea at the time. But we didn't know them.
No. When did I actually know? I don't know, honestly.
I think it was I think for me, it was when I saw you putting in work making bricks in the kitchen.
Oh my goodness.
It's like, okay, I got to keep her here. She ain't afraid to put in some work.
I don't know. So for me, I have a journal of way early in Robert and I's relationship.
I haven't read it yet.
I know. It's way earlier in Robert and I's relationship, and I wrote down, this is the guy I'm going to marry. Like, I'm going to marry him. And we had a period of time where we broke up, and I was just like, how was I so wrong? And here I am now. I knew it. Like, I knew back then, like, that's the guy I was going to marry. So I knew way before you, but when I really, really knew, like, I knew we were both in on it, probably during my prep, because we had been in
That was a trying time for our relationship too, when you were in your prep. That was your first prep.
Yeah, but I was really nice.
Yeah, but you were still crazy.
No.
Yes.
I wasn't crazy. I was just hungry.
You were pretty emotional at times. You weren't mean emotional, though. You were just, like, emotional.
And I got super sick during my prep.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was an interesting time. But I felt during that time, like, we were building a lot. Like, we were building Keto Brick. You were still, like, trying to build up Keto Savage. And, well, man, there was a lot going on. But I felt like during that time we were pretty solid, and we relied on each other, and we would talk about the long game. So I think as soon as you start talking about it, it becomes a reality, you know?
What do you feel like a lot of people, they get in this comfort zone, and it just like they get comfortable. They start to get mediocre, and they just relax too much. I feel like we're relaxed with each other, but I feel like our lives are changing so much, so frequently, that we never, like, get comfortable on a macro level. You know, like, we get comfortable with who we are and what we're capable of and kind of knowing what each other's boundaries are, but I feel like we'll continually grow as a couple because of our surroundings.
Right. I agree. And also, I feel like there's still parts of me that I'm trying to figure out. I've always been like, let's support Robert and do what he does and, like, go, go, go. And I had to realize that my body doesn't do well with that. I don't do well with that. And I need to be able to learn when I need to take a step back and listen to myself and listen to my body and listen to my wants and needs. And you've had to adjust to that. And so I think just little things like that we're still finding out, and that causes us to be a little bit to have to adjust things. And we
still fight, believe it or not.
Oh yeah, we sure do.
We do.
But like,
they're all stupid fights.
Yeah, they're all stupid. They're
what was our last
so
fight?
Stupid. I don't remember what was our last fight. Oh, well, it was kind of like I was working on Lady Savage, and I really wanted you to be there to support me.
That wasn't a fight, though.
No, that wasn't. And he, by the way, he did totally support me. It was like I was just being dumb.
Yeah. She was mad because I was out sailing.
Yeah, he was out and having fun. And I'm like, every time you're working really hard on something, I'm always there. And I always just hunker down and I work hard with you. And
but there's nothing
you're
I can
out
do.
sailing.
I never
2 weekends
have fun.
in a row.
I never go out and have fun. So the one weekend I do, to just give her space to work on her thing, I get in trouble for it. So yeah, that's what we thought about
We're
last
over
time.
it now. Yeah.
So we've been, like, since I'm in the reverse diet now, we've been trying to make it a point to, like, go on dates and stuff like that. Has that been advantageous, you think, to our relationship?
Yeah, and it's not about the going somewhere. It's just about, like, the time spent together. We've gotten a lot better at spending time together in the evenings as well, which has been really helpful for us. Before, we used to just, like, work all the time.
I've got a new technique I want to start trying in the afternoons. You ready?
No.
All right, this is relevant. We'll dive into this.
Okay.
So my sleep quality sucks. Crystal's got an Oura ring now, so now we've become very competitive at our step counts. And I don't really care too much about my step counts, but she'll see that she's about to beat me, so she'll literally run across the house 4 times, which is kind of weird, but cute. So my sleep is terrible, and your sleep is not great, but it's significantly better than mine. So I've been thinking about ways that we can improve our sleep. So I've already done a million different hacks. I wear the blue light blocking glasses in the evening whenever we're watching screens, which we've tried to cut down on. That's a huge thing. Not watching TV or not watching the computer or the phone or anything before you go to bed is huge. We turn the AC way down.
Way down.
60 degrees, 59 degrees, so it's pretty chilly. We turn off all the lights. Obviously, there's no window, so it's totally blacked out in our bedroom. But one thing that I've been thinking about is now that I have more calories coming in, I've got more energy to spare. Like, I've got more energy. My NEAT activity is up. Like, I've got energy left. But I'm normally dead by the end of the day because we work out. We wake up at 3. We work out early. I go for a run early. And the rest of the day is me sitting at a computer, which is not good for my blood flow throughout the day. All of my food is consumed later in the day. So it's probably not the best thing for my nutrient absorption to just kind of be stagnant like that. So I think what I want to start doing is some kind of activity after the work day is done, either before or after I eat. I haven't decided if I want to do before or after, but you've been wanting to get more active. So what if, like, we do a normal morning routine, we work out together, I go for that run, then we work, but then when the day's over, we, like, do something else. I may go for another run. I may go just jump rope for 15, 20 minutes. But I'm thinking about something to get my heart rate up again, and that'll increase the blood flow going into sleep, which will probably be better. I think it'll just be better all around.
They do say not to do something that's going to raise your heart rate like 2 hours before bed. So I think if you did it right before you ate.
And then took a cold shower, that would help as well.
Yeah.
So run, eat, cold shower, sleep.
You know, we're talking about our coffee addiction, and we have been trying to, well, I wanted to kind of adjust. So we'll go on a drive. We'll go grab a coffee and we'll go for a drive and we'll kind of talk about the work day and what's going on with the crew and what's going on with our work and how everything's going for the day. And so instead of going for a drive, I've been wanting to go for a walk lately. So we're going to work out in the morning, go for a run. Afternoon, we go for a walk.
And in the evening,
and then we go for another something. Yeah.
I want to check out that other park. That other park
that we saw.
That we passed. I feel like that might be a good running park.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So, yeah, we'll do that. You down?
Yeah.
You going to run with me at one of those? You going to jump rope with me?
Maybe.
I'm
really picky about my cardio.
Meaning you just don't do it?
Meaning yes. I really don't enjoy cardio, so it takes me a minute to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do enjoy it after I start it, but it has to be leisurely. Like when I run, I can run at my own pace, but when I run with Robert, I have to keep up.
No, you don't. I told you don't have to keep up.
I know, but then he runs slower, and it makes me feel like a wimp. So.
No, you actually did pretty good. Having not running forever, and then you started running, I was impressed. So yeah, I want to try to do that to see if it improves my sleep, and then like maybe read or something a little bit right before going to bed.
Yep.
I think all of those in combination. And then Danny, when I had him on the podcast, he was recommending an actual high-quality dose of CBD for bed. I don't know if that would make a difference or not.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about CBD.
Because everyone we've tried has not been dosed correctly. It's all low quality. Like, I've just been unimpressed.
Yes.
Completely unimpressed.
Yeah. I do have a family member that has tried it.
Jack's tried it.
Jack has tried it. I tried it on Jack.
Dope
it did
Dog.
not. Yeah, that's what it's called. The company I used is Dope Dog. It was recommended to me, but it didn't work for his issues. And then
he's got a lot of them.
Stop it. Jack is my dog, by the way. But I have a family member who tried it for pain, and it didn't really do anything. And I think that they still didn't have them on a high enough dose or the right concentration or whatever. I think it could be really beneficial. But I think you have to actually talk to someone who knows what they're talking about, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely kind of overly hyped right now, so I'm pretty skeptical.
Right.
I feel like the marketing is a little bit ahead of the research with a lot of things. But if anybody listening to this actually knows what they're talking about CBD, I'd be at least keen to hear
listening.
You out.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I've heard that red light can be really helpful, like doing it first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
So that might actually, even though you're doing it in the morning, it might be helpful with your circadian rhythm and all that kind of stuff. So. Well,
you know these lights that I have where you can like program when they brighten up, what the shade is.
Oh yeah.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
The Philip Hue lights that I use on the podcast rooms. A lot of people have them as their main lights because then you can just change them to be like red in the evenings.
Right.
Which. Honestly, it's not a bad idea. They're kind of expensive, but they last forever. So I think the pricing would probably work itself out in the long run. But then we could like turn all the lights to red or something in the evening hours.
There is someone, I don't remember who it was, that said that their bedroom lights are just red. Mm-hmm. So they're like, I don't know what my neighbors think's going on, but...
Who was that?
I don't know.
That was Jessica Ty, wasn't it?
Oh, is that who it was? I'm
think maybe.
Yeah, it might have been Jessica Ty. That's really funny. But yeah, it seems like a really smart idea.
Yeah, I think so.
It's great. So
we'll try it.
Yeah.
We'll try it. You want to talk a little bit about what we have coming up this weekend?
Sure.
Dive in, baby.
Just go for it?
Go for it.
Okay. So this weekend, we are launching the newest flavor of Keto Brick, which is my favorite. Mocha has been my favorite since the very beginning, and I have finally found the one that rises above. Everyone else's favorite is peanut butter, but the chocolate malt, boom, that's my favorite. One. And you know, I'm not really even that big of a chocolate fan, but this chocolate malt is phenomenal. It's my favorite. I've been eating one every day.
So I don't ever like talk about ads on this podcast. I don't talk about sponsorships. I don't want to sound too biased talking about the bricks on this podcast. I like to keep the podcast pretty clean. But I feel like it's relevant to talk about the bricks from time to time because we created the bricks.
Also, I feel like I don't feel like we're ever addy.
Yeah.
But we just are so excited about it that
we are excited
maybe
about it.
Comes off as, I don't know.
I don't know. But I am very excited about this launch as well. It is the first keto brick that uses 100% grass-fed whey concentrate, which, for the record, all the other bricks use a very high-quality vegetable-based protein powder, and for the longest time, people always questioned why we'd use that instead of an animal-based, but most animal-based protein powders are just a very low-quality protein. They don't absorb well, so they may say, you know, we've got 20, 25 grams of protein, but your body's not actually absorbing a lot of that protein. It causes a lot of GI upset. It's just not great stuff. The vegetable-based protein that we've used and will continue to use is the best stuff I could find. It absorbs better than most wheys out there, and it's just rock solid. Like, I have not had anybody that has GI issues with the whey, or not with the whey, but with the vegetable-based protein. So I'm totally fine in saying that it's rock solid, and I mean, I'm going to continue to use it with pride. But I am excited to offer this animal-based protein powder for those that are very much so like, this is what I want, you know, animal-based protein powder all the way. And this is your ticket, because this stuff is the highest quality whey protein I could find. It's all grass-fed. There's no antibiotics, no hormones. It's like, it checks all the boxes, and it tastes pretty damn good.
Yeah. It's so good.
It's got like a different texture.
Yeah, it definitely has a different texture, and I did want to say too, because I've been getting a lot of questions of, are we going to move to 100% grass-fed whey for all of the other bricks and switch all the other ones over? Just like Robert said, like, we are very proud of the veggie protein that we do use. So we're going to be, whatever we put out in the future is going to be probably a mixture of everything. Just maybe one will be whey, one will be veggie. Kind of just depends on what the flavor is and what we want to do with it.
Give people options.
Yeah, just give people options. I mean, we do have a lot of vegan and vegetarian customers as well who enjoy the fact that we do use a veggie based. And then there's some who just naturally prefer a whey protein, so we're going to try and go for that as well. So we're just trying to make everyone happy. It's really hard to do, but we're doing it.
It's impossible. We're not doing it. It's impossible.
Yeah, we're not doing it, but we're trying.
We're giving them one more option with the animal base for sure. But this stuff, the chocolate malt, did we even say the flavor?
I did say chocolate malt, but I don't know that I emphasized it.
Chocolate malt. That's going live at 12 noon Central on Sunday, June 7th.
Yep.
And I also want to say this. I always want to, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as an influencer, like, it's never about the money. Mm-hmm. It's all about, sticking to the values, sticking to your morals, sticking to the integrity that you have, and just adding more value than you take. That's what I've always wanted to do. I don't ever like being salesy or pushy. I don't like asking people for anything. I like putting out something that I believe in and then educating people as to why I believe in it and then leaving it totally up to them to make that decision because they feel good about it. Like, I don't ever want to be that crazy, stereotypical used car salesman when it comes to business and sales. I'm very proud of the bricks, and because I'm very proud of them, I'll speak to why I'm proud of them, without bowing my head. I don't want to ask for anything unnecessarily, but if I had to ask for anything, it would be for everybody to try this chocolate malt brick this weekend because there's something big that we're working on, and it's really big. You want to talk? Should we tease it a little bit, or should we be fully up front and tell people what it is, or should we wait a little bit?
I think you should wait.
Wait a little bit?
I don't know.
All right. It's up to you. I'm going to wait. I don't want to be like blindfolding y'all, teasing too much, but I don't want to unveil it until it's 100% certain. But the success of this launch will dictate how possible this next thing is. And if the next thing goes through, then it's going to be a game changer for Keto Brick as a company. It's going to be a game changer for our crew, for our future, for what we're trying to do with the business on a long-term level. And I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
Same. I'm very excited about it. It's cool to see the possibilities unfold. And I think this is definitely the next step for us. So I truly hope it all goes through and we do the best that we can as business owners to make it possible and then let the chips fall where they may. I want to be able to go through this launch, go through this next month, go through this possibility the same way I go through a prep, knowing that I've left nothing to chance, knowing that I put the best foot forward every time and that I didn't make any mistakes unnecessarily. There's mistakes that you make in business and in life, but if you make those decisions based off of all the information you have at the forefront and then you just trust your gut and go for it, even if that falls through, you can't hold your head down because you did the best you could with what you had. And I want to be able to say the same thing about this next step. So I guess that's a good way to talk about that, right?
Yeah.
No more details?
That's up to you.
But we'll definitely let you all know as soon as we know something. But we should know something solid by the end of June or July for sure.
Yep.
But it's exciting. It's exciting times. What else is new? Anything?
No, I don't know. Is there?
It's crazy to believe that's already 6 months into the year 2020.
Yeah, I know.
We're halfway through.
I know. It's blowing my mind.
And this is honestly not what we expected the year to look like at all.
No, not at all. We were supposed to have been gone for 6 weeks straight, going back and forth to Robert's competitions and to conferences and all of this kind of stuff. We were going to go on the low carb cruise and KetoCon and all of those, and then all of it got canceled. but we've been able to kind of hunker down and work on some things. Like I would not have had Lady Savage out this soon if and all of this stuff didn't happen, because we would have been gone for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful for that. But you just have to like adjust as life and the world adjusts, I guess.
Yeah, I'm really curious
weird
to see where things end up when all this resolves. Like, are people going to be more interactive with one another? Or are they going to be more sheltered and kind of like solitude? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I cannot imagine myself just being distant from people forever. Like, that would drive me nuts. Like, mentally, that would drive me insane to, like, not shake people's hands or not hug them, not, I don't know what the world's going to do, but it would be extremely hard for me to adjust myself,
Yeah. Plus, I don't really like masks. They kind of irritate my ears.
Yeah, I don't like masks because I can't see people's faces.
Yeah, that's
like,
something.
I'm a very big, like, visual person, and if someone doesn't smile at me or, whatever, seem or appear like they're happy, then to me it's like, are you okay? Are you fine? Are you like, I'm a people pleaser. I may try and make everything good. So if I can't see the way that your facial expressions are, to me it's like you're completely shut off. And because people are wearing masks, I've noticed that they don't feel like they have to act happy. Customer service, they aren't happy. They aren't overly nice anymore. They aren't, and that, I mean, to me, I was in customer service for many years, and I felt like that was my job. My job was to be happy and to be an inviting face and a joy to be around when they were in the store for 5 seconds.
Well, it's like you can see if people are smiling or not based off of their eyes.
Right. That's exactly the point. And I feel like a lot of people aren't smiling still, or they have more of an attitude because they feel like they're hiding behind something, but you can still tell.
Yeah.
But it's like shut down. It's very weird to me, but I don't like it.
What do you think is going to happen within like the keto space, like with the conferences? Like, do you think they're going to come back stronger than before, or do you think there's going to be like this rebuilding period? Like, what are you thinking there?
I'm not really sure. I'm hoping that through all of this, people will recognize how important your everyday health is and your nutrition is, and that a lot of the people that are getting sick or whatever are people who have pre-existing conditions or people who aren't taking care of themselves on a day-to-day basis in the first place, that you have a much better chance if you are taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that it gets bigger, and I'm hoping that it gets better, but we don't have a way of knowing.
Yeah, and there's like no defined light at the end of the tunnel. Like, I don't know when the conferences will open back up. I don't know. There's no set date, like there's in like these COVID patient or, cases. I don't know if they're getting more or getting less, because some of it, there's just so much uncertainty out there right now, and not having a tangible, like when I'm doing a prep, having a specific show date keeps me grounded. It keeps me working towards something solid. Whereas now there is no grounded date. There is no, this is when things are going to go back to normal. Mm-hmm. And not having that tangible thing to grab hold of, it just leaves people faltering,
Right.
I don't know. It's interesting. Interesting times that we live in, babe.
Yeah, it is interesting. This has been an interesting year.
So let's talk about your personal goals. Let's talk about your personal health, training, nutrition. Like, we've had you on the podcast several times. We've dove into your digestive issues in the past. We dove into your, reverse diet and binging. We've talked about what you're at with training. You went through a period where you wanted to do powerlifting, and then strong woman, and now what?
And now I'm Crystal.
The big mystery.
Honestly, I've had a lot of people ask me, like, what are you doing? What are you training for? And I guess I'm just training for life. I want to be able to have the best and healthiest body that I can, and it not to look good, but to be good and feel good. And eventually Robert and I are going to want to have kids, and I want to have a good, healthy...
She reminds me of it daily.
I do want to have a healthy body, the healthiest body I can, not only for myself and recovery from that, but also I will be holding our children, and I want to give them the best shot that they can. So by me exercising and eating right and doing all of those things, I'm giving them the best shot at life that I can. And I can't tell what their futures are going to be, but I can give them the best start. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just doing me. I'm just staying healthy and trying to live the best life I can.
So I had a podcast last week or the week before with someone that was pregnant. I've had podcasts with females that have just given birth, and you are not pregnant. Mm-hmm. Quick disclaimer on that in case anybody's wondering. Not pregnant. And you will not be in the super near future. Yep. We're not picking a date here, y'all. But you have that in the back of your mind. You're working towards laying the best foundation you can to be the best childbearing human that you can when that time does come. So what are some tangible things that other females can, apply to their own life now to just kind of set the groundwork?
Well, it might sound, I've dug into it just to kind of know like what is going to truly be best. And there are some things that I'm doing now, and there's some things that I'll just incorporate later on as we get ready. I don't want anybody to like get the wrong idea that I'm like doing anything, too quickly.
We're not practicing even, The best birth control is start a business. There you
go. So I would say, if you do drink, I would just lighten that. I'll have like the occasional glass of wine. Same thing with caffeine, is just adjusting my body to less caffeine, which clearly I'm not doing a great job.
We haven't phased that out yet.
Yeah. But those things, also a prenatal vitamin is going to be super important, and you do not have to be pregnant or breastfeeding or anything to be taking those. They're great for all women, but making sure that the vitamins that are in those are actual, that your body absorbs them properly. There's a lot of vitamins, prenatal vitamins especially, that might have a certain type of like vitamin D or, iodine or whatever it is, that's not easily absorbed by your body. So you end up taking all of these supplements, and your body isn't even getting all the stuff that you need. So I would suggest getting one that actually someone's done their research. That's the biggest point, is do your research to find a company who's going to do a good job at helping you give the best nutrients to yourself and your future child. And then I think another big thing is just eating properly. I'm not, I'm not pregnant or anything, but I think if you have control over your food before you become pregnant, it is easier to decide what you want to do going forward. And I understand hormones are a thing, and people tell me day and night until I can prove them wrong. But you have control over what you put in your mouth. Hormones can only make you crave something. You have to do the act of putting it in your mouth.
Yeah. You
have to have the control. So I think having control for a while before you have all of these crazy hormones is great. Women go through a monthly cycle, and I have people who are still like, oh, I was craving this because I'm on my period. And I'm like, okay, you were craving it, but you don't have to eat it. So I think just getting control over what you're eating, what you're putting in your mouth, the exercise that you're doing, build your body up the best that you can, give yourself the nutrient-dense foods that you know that you need, and you'll give yourself a really great start. Also, another thing is eating in surplus. You're eventually going to need to feed you and your child, which you don't need as many calories as some people would like to think.
It's a nice way of saying that.
Yeah, and then you end up gaining an unhealthy amount of weight, and sometimes your body will, you'll have gestational diabetes and things like that. But you don't need that many calories. But if you're already eating in a surplus, then you're going to be a lot better off.
Yeah.
So just making sure that you're eating not only plenty of food, but maybe in a slight surplus. I'm not eating like a crazy amount of food. I'm not gaining a bunch of weight, but just setting my metabolism higher to make sure that my body feels super, super safe. And I'll have better chance of, first of all, getting pregnant, and then second of all, supporting a child as well as my own body.
I am not excited for you to get pregnant anytime super soon, but I am excited for you to go through pregnancy, because there's so much like confusion out there with low carb keto and pre-pregnancy, pregnancy, post-pregnancy. It's like you are going to be a perfect example of what's possible, because you're healthy going into it, you're well keto adapted going into it, you're athletic going into it. You're going to be fit, you're going to be athletic, you're going to be hot all throughout your pregnancy.
Oh, okay.
And you're going to be healthy. Like, you're not going to have to eat a ton of carbs. You're not going to have all these crazy cravings that you just go off the wagon and binge on because you feel like you can justify it. Like, I'm excited for you to be a shining light to other women that don't know what's possible, feasible, or best. And you can just be like, look, this works really well for me. It can work really well for you too. And honestly, like, when I look at what I'm doing on a macro level for the whole Keto Savage, Keto Contest Prep standpoint, it's like, look, I want to just illustrate what's possible. I want to show people that you can be strict keto, you can, prioritize your health, you can eat quality, nutrient-dense, animal-based foods following a legitimate ketogenic diet and not have to sacrifice any performance whatsoever. In fact, you're going to benefit from it. You're going to do better than if you had those carbs that everybody says you need to have. And I'm excited for you to illustrate the same thing from a pregnancy standpoint, because you're going to, and it's going to be awesome, and it's going to be great, and I'm excited to showcase it.
Well, thanks. It is exciting to showcase what you are willing to do for your body and your children's health. And I don't ever want it to be like look what I did and I'm better than you.
Yeah.
But it's way more in the lines of, I'm doing what I know is going to be best for me and future children. And I hope that it has the best outcome and that I'm able to help other people do the same thing so that they can be the healthiest and so that their children can be the healthiest. Because you look at children now, and we are not setting them up for success. It has to come down to what you teach them. And again, I'm not a parent, so I can't say everyone's messing up or everyone's doing the right thing. I don't know. I'm just going to go into parenting and doing the best I can. But we are not, as a society, setting up children for success. And my job for my children and the people around me is to at least teach them and hope that they want to do the same thing and hope that they want to take care of their bodies. And it's the same thing with living out our day to day. That's why we do not waver from what we do. We don't go and eat carbs. We don't go and have cheat meals because we don't believe in it. It does nothing for our bodies. We also want to show people that you can live an amazing life without having to do those things and feeling like you need to fit in here and there and everywhere. You don't have to fit in. Just do your own thing and be proud of it.
Yeah. I think that, there's a lot of going back and forth between different protocols, not just in the keto community, but just in all nutritional communities and all walks of life, basically. And we are very much so, like the strict discipline, like this is what we do, this is what we recommend. Like we do all kinds of experimentations and, tweaks to see what little nuances make a difference. But I am proud to say that at least what I feel confident in saying, and kind of based off of the feedback I've gotten from our audience, it seems to be true, is that they know what they're going to get with us. They know where we stand on things, and they know that we're not going to go back on those things. So we're continually learning, improving, and adapting based off of the most, current up-to-date research and our own self-experimentations, but they know what they're going to get with us. And I'm proud to be able to have that transcend just the diet itself, but also our training, our parenting, our lifestyle, our business, everything. Like I want people to look to you and me and our team and what we've built and just know that we have rock solid freaking morals, values, integrity, and we will never falter from that. There's so many people that are constantly jumping from one thing to the next and always doing the grass is greener on the other side approach. And I feel like it just leaves people in a total state of confusion. Like they want some solid ground on which to stand and be like, look, this is who I am. This is what I stand for. I don't have to waver from this because I'm confident in this. I know that it works. I don't have to prove anything. I just feel better. I perform better. And this is what I'm okay saying that my life is. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that we have built that with our branding, our business, our lives. Mm-hmm. And I'm proud of them besides you, babe.
Oh, me too.
Well, we've been jibber-jabbering for 54 minutes now. You have any parting thoughts? Anything else you're excited about? Anything else on the horizon?
Honestly, I'm just really excited about life. I know that sounds like super silly, but there has definitely been like ups and downs, and I've definitely gone through my experience of anxiety and kind of lows of depressions and things like that. But I'm excited about life. Yeah. I'm excited about going into it every single day and loving it and being excited and waking up with joy. And I hope that if that is not your life and you don't love it every single day, I hope that you are in search of what is going to cause that for you, what's going to bring that into your life, because it is the best feeling in the world. It's not fun living the depressed, the sad, the tired, the whatever life. And trust me, I've been there. I mean, it was literally like in and out all 2019, 2018. But finally, I was working and trying to figure out what was going to bring me that. And that's it. Like, you just got to find it. You got to find whatever it is inside of your heart and within your lifestyle and who you are as a person. Find that light and just go for it. Because that's that. I don't know. That I just felt compelled to say that because I need to share that with people.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I mean, and that is so much deeper than the clothes on your back, the brand shoes you have, the money in your bank account. Those superficial things will never provide true happiness. And people say that it's written down in books, and people toss that statement around, and they know it to be true. But it's like, if you know it to be true, then live it. You know, I mean, I like that we are living life on our terms. We build the things that we want to build. We invest our time, which is our most valuable resource, into the things that we feel passionate about. Mm-hmm. And we are able to share what we learn and create with others in a positive way to bring out more positivity when it's all said and done. Like, I can hang my hat on that. Like, I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
I'm very blessed and grateful to have found what makes me tick early enough in life to devote my entire life to it. Mm-hmm. You know, there was a period in my life when I didn't know what that was. You know, I was super broke, super unhappy, super stressed and unfulfilled and like suicidal. Like, it wasn't a good place to be in. What saddens me is that there's so many people that are in that same place and they don't know what to do about it. They don't know where to go. And the path is not always as defined as you would like it. It's honestly never defined as you would like it to be. But when you find it, there is nothing in life that beats it. Like, that is what life is worth living for. Mm-hmm. So find that. Devote your life to finding that if you haven't already. And then when you do find it, run with it, because life's too short not to.
Yeah. And life is going to suck at times.
Yeah.
It's not always going to be easy, but being on that path, you're going to be able to get over things so much faster. You're going to be able to pick yourself up so much more easily. You're going to be able to be there for other people a lot better. I don't know. Yeah, that's it.
Totally. Well, babe, where can people go to find out more about you? What's the new website?
I can finally say it.
Yeah.
LadySavage.com.
Boom. LadySavage.com. Mm-hmm. And on Instagram and social?
Instagram, it's the.lady.savage. And Facebook, we're on Team Savage.
Team Savage. Mm-hmm. LadySavage.com, ladies and gents. And the Keto Brick launched this weekend.
Yep.
KetoBrick.com.
Yep. Sunday,
12 noon
7th.
Central.
Mm-hmm.
And what else is worth throwing out there? That's pretty much it.
Yep.
We covered it all.
Yeah.
I love you.
Love you too.
Until next time, y'all. Take care. Toodaloo. Have a great one. And I just want to say thanks. Like, Crystal and I try and say thanks and be appreciative throughout our social posts and whatnot. And And these podcasts are cool because it's just kind of more of a laid back, informal, long form content. But every single day, Crystal and I, you know, we just look at each other at one point or another throughout the day and say, no matter what stresses we have going on right now, no matter what chaos is happening in our lives, we just smile because we know that we're very blessed. We know that we're very, humbled to be in the position that we are, and we know that it's all because of you. Listening to this podcast right now, watching this on YouTube, following us on social, buying the bricks, supporting us. Like, we could not do what we do without you, and for that, we are forever grateful and humbled, and we just love y'all. So, from the bottom of our hearts, we love you, and we'll talk to you soon. You getting teary-eyed right now?
No.
You look a little teary-eyed, baby.
Maybe I feel a little bit. I feel a little bit teary-eyed.
All right. Well, until next time, y'all take care.